Welcome back, everyone, to another AirVenture 24 Touch and Go. This time, Information Delta. We're going to recap last night's night air show. We didn't cover it in Charlie because, as you heard in the outro, the show started as we were recording Charlie with that awesome flyover. And then it got late and we were sleepy. So there was no recording after the night air show. Even though, frankly, I kind of wish I would have just stuck around and recorded because I waited in the parking lot for an hour to even turn my car on, I think. So anyway, let's recap some of that stuff. That night air show last night. Oh, my goodness.
They truly pulled out all the stops.
Yeah, incredible for sure.
We've talked about as a group that I didn't stay for the entire night air show last year. And I'm glad that I did this year because that was just absolutely incredible. That drone and firework display that they did was really cool.
Yeah, they haven't done, in the past, they've done the fireworks extravaganza, which is incredible every time. They really, really do a nice job. But the drones were new. I thought they were going to be a little silly because drones, but it was actually very, very cool.
Yeah, definitely. And I had never seen a drone show before. It surpassed all of my expectations. A little bit of a spoiler, if you're coming to Saturday, plug your ears for the next 15 seconds or so. Absolute highlight of the drones. They did an A-10 with the drones, made the sound effect, and had explosions as if the drone A-10 was actually shooting its guns. It was awesome.
It was so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely a highlight. But they did a lot of really cool things that I didn't really think were possible. And it was strange.
You mean with the drones or just
with
in
the
general?
drones? I mean, yeah, the fact that they do real live explosions on the runway is still baffling to me. How they don't set, the entire city of Oshkosh on fire. But hey, good for them.
As you heard probably in Information Charlie, Bill came back for another Bill and Jim's Excellent AirVenture, but he left right after that last night. We weren't able to record his reactions, but as him and I were walking out, he was just in absolute awe of the awesome display that was put on last night. We are going to catch up with him after the show to get his reactions, but suffice to say, he was very impressed.
Yes, I heard him. He was sitting in front of me, and I just heard, "Whoa! Oh, that was awesome!" every once in a while. So he was clearly enthused. I was too. It was an incredible show.
You don't even have to be an air show newcomer to have enjoyed that last night. It was just everyone I've talked to, like all my friends that are out here, said that was just an incredible display. So kudos to EAA for that last night. The other spectacle last night was the awesome display of trying to get out of a parking lot. So you guys were able to go back to your campsite, which up until last night, I did not envy you one bit having to sleep in your campsite while I had a hotel. But last night, when I was thinking I might have to sleep in my car, I wished I was at a campsite fast asleep already. So getting out of the parking lots was a real thing. Frankly, I sat in the parking lot. I turned my car on. I realized that no one around me for several rows was even moving, so I turned my car off. And I sat there for at least another 40 minutes or so before I even turned my car back on. So one of the punishments of getting here early is you're one of the last ones to get out of the lot because those front rows of the people who got here last are filtering out first. So all that said, I mean, I can complain and whine and moan all I want. It was an awesome air show. And at the end of the day, I just hung out in my car. I listened to some music for a bit, had the windows down because it was a beautiful night last night. And as much as people will probably give them grief, kudos to the state troopers and Oshkosh police who are out there directing traffic to get everyone out of here in a somewhat orderly fashion. I can't imagine the undertaking that it is to get everyone out of here safely and orderly. Shout out to those guys as well for being out there as late as they were directing traffic.
Yeah, we did a lot of walking of the bikes back to Camp Scholler. There was no way to ride. I almost ran into people almost ran into me trying to ride their bikes, and we're like, this is silly, and everybody just walked because there were so many people. I even took the back route to try to avoid some, and that did not work.
Sorry, I got distracted. There's someone skywriting in the sky.
I know. But
it says temp F. I wonder if they're going to give the ATIS.
That's not an F.
Nope, that's an E now. They hadn't finished it yet when I looked at it. I thought they're going to do the temperature in Fahrenheit.
The last one, it didn't look like a word.
Tempe.
I guess it's tempest.
Maybe it's an 8. The temperature is 8 something Celsius.
It
82
is
Celsius.
way warmer than 8 Celsius.
It's an S, I know it.
So this morning's been pretty low-key, actually. We were going to try to hook up with the F-22 team again, but they are pretty busy. So we're still going to try to work that out, and if not, we'll try to work something out after the show. It's just the logistics of that. With as many requests as they get, it's probably a lot. But they were apologetic yesterday that it didn't work out, and fingers crossed still.
I hope it works. That would be a really cool opportunity to talk to somebody actively flying an F-22. I mean, that is kind of like the coolest job ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in the meantime, we do have an interview lined up later today with Deltahawk.
Yep.
For real?
For real.
For real.
Oh my
For
goodness.
real.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, this is exciting because we've been talking about these guys for a while now. And so we'll be talking to them about their new jet fuel piston aircraft. And that'll be an interview you guys can look forward to in the future.
Well, when you go back to talking about them for quite a while, this goes back to AirVenture last year
Yes.
when you went to their booth and introduced yourself as the Wisconsin affiliate for the Flying Midwest podcast.
Yes.
So,
Which actually segues nicely into what we've all done today. I know Jim and I, well, actually just me. I actually started my day at the media tent introducing myself to Miss America as Andrew from Flying Midwest Media to make us sound a little more official. So that was kind of an interesting press conference to get a chance to ask Miss America her thoughts on who she has for inspiration when she was a kid growing up. And in classic Miss America fashion, she couldn't choose one name and turned it around quite nicely to just being inspired by all of the youth who are excited about aviation here at AirVenture.
Aww.
I mean, that is the future of aviation. So, I mean, that's a good answer.
She seems cool.
She's an active duty member of the United States Air Force, but she also happens to be Miss America.
Right. I'm just wondering about the logistics of all that. Like, I have no idea. I've just been pondering it.
Well,
I could Google it. I just
totally speculation, but I would imagine the Air Force is cool with it because it gives them a lot of exposure.
Yeah, and she actually touched on that a little bit. She is allowed to remain active duty as Miss America, which apparently that wasn't a thing in the past. But they have her pretty much in a PR role and recruiting, which, of course, makes sense.
I think that's perfect.
The other thing we got going on this afternoon is we're going to try to meet up with the folks over at Spot. They do the satellite communication devices. They can be used for like search and rescue if you're in a pinch and don't have cell phone service, things like that. So we'll have a full interview with them hopefully this afternoon as well. And other than that, the other thing that we covered this morning was Martin Pauly's forum that Badger and I went to. And then, Maddie, you went to the Rutan forum, or tried to.
Tried to, yeah.
Yeah, so Martin Pauly was doing a forum on flying small planes into big airports, and the presentation was awesome, of course. But the highlight for me is Martin Pauly actually has my Badger Pilot sticker on his laptop, which was super cool.
Not only is it super cool, you immediately took a photo of it while he's trying to still set up his presentation, and he like looks up and gives you a little bit of a smile, and you immediately posted it to Instagram. Before he could even start his presentation, he saw it, and he goes, well, that was quick.
I appreciate how he's become a friend of the channel.
He's just such a fun guy. So,
He is.
I also I had to step out for a little bit. I went and met with my flight instructor for lunch and came back. I mentioned that to Martin, and he goes, "You don't get credit for partial." What did he say?
He said you don't get partial credit.
Oh yeah, you don't get partial credit. You have to attend the whole thing. I didn't know that
This
there
is the
was.
most German thing I've ever heard.
I didn't know that this was like on a credit system that I had to like log my credits. But at any rate, I don't get any credit apparently because I dipped out. So sorry, Martin.
I attempted erroneously thinking that I would get a seat to go to one of the Burt Rutan forums. I saw him. I heard his voice momentarily, and then there were so many people. They were literally spilling out the sides. People had the doors open. There were seats spreading across the lawn, like on the side of the forums. It was insane. And with all the air traffic and all the other community noise, unfortunately, I couldn't hear nor see anything of substance, which was sad. But I got to see him in the flesh, and that was pretty cool. So we decided to head a different direction and may or may not have gotten root beer floats.
There's no shame in root beer floats. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed of that.
We did go into the career center, which it looks a little sparse this year, but we at least stopped in.
Very good. Hopefully that will be fruitful for you.
Thank you.
Fingers crossed. The last thing we'll cover in this segment, Andrew and I will jump back on a little bit later after we finish up our day, but get out of town day for Maddie and her dad.
I'm CIing.
You are. You guys are heading out this afternoon?
Yeah, we're going to be going around, mid-afternoon. We're going to be packing all of our stuff up, all our tents and things, and heading back to Minnesota.
Well, it has been an absolute pleasure to have both of you with us again this year. I really enjoyed our time together, even though we are running around again like chickens with their heads cut off. So
Yep.
Dave, thank you so much for being such a good sport. Yeah.
Dad, do you have any thoughts?
Oh gosh, it was a great time. I was a little hobbled with a bad knee, bad back, but had a great time nonetheless. It was fun.
Thanks for being our moral support, Dad. Or our mortal support, as I accidentally posted.
No.
Sorry, Dad.
Yeah, and you grabbed some pictures and stuff for us too. So I mean, we appreciate that, and we're able to use that on our social media to share what we're doing out here. So I just appreciate you being around and having a good time with you. All right, well, for you two then, until next year, see ya.
See ya.
See ya.
See you. Go. Are we recording?
Yeah.
Okay, Jim and I have retracted our SIAs because he and I did some more work this afternoon.
Well, they're directed specifically at Madi, so I think they can still stand.
Fair enough.
Just to the rest of you, we're still here. Yeah, we had a busy afternoon, but I think we need to talk about something more important before we get to the afternoon. Jeff?
Well, I am here. This is Jeff from the Opposing Bases podcast. We are here.
Wait,
Whoa.
hold on. Hold on.
First of all, do they know that? Second of all, that you should be using just your initials then.
Oh, yeah, Juliet Echo Foxtrot.
Wait,
Here.
Dembro, can you give the man some microphone holding etiquette?
I'd prefer you didn't. This is kind of fun.
Corn dog, not ice cream.
Like this?
Corn.
Imagine you're eating a corn
I
dog.
feel like we talked
Yeah,
about
there
this
you go.
Okay.
like last night.
The problem with me is either one is a food reference, and so I just end up trying to eat it.
Anyway, Jeff, you had something important to say?
So, yeah, I'm here, and I got a text from our friend over here, the Badger, that we were going to do an impromptu meet. And I don't know if the listeners could guess where we are, but it is definitely the Cheese Curd Taco Truck. And we definitely had a few.
And I'm glad that you're here because, again, you are the official cheese curd taco czar of the Flying Midwest podcast.
It's in my contract that you guys can't have any unless I'm here.
All right, well, Madi has violated that. So, anyway, let's get into the afternoon's activities. Madi took off. We were trying to get some seats with some friends to watch the air show. And as I was about to go sit down, I got a text message from RaZZ Larson. So we went and chatted with him instead.
Yeah, I was halfway to my campsite at that point to get some more batteries, and we weren't even sure if the batteries we had were going to last.
Because we're a professional podcast.
Yes. But I got a text from Jim and turned right around and full send to center stage, and luckily the batteries held out.
What did that text message say again?
F-22 show center right now.
Yeah. So we had a really cool interview with him. I appreciated how humble he is, and he gave credit to the team for helping put him in the air. I learned something interesting about the planes that they fly in that demo, though. Like it could be any F-22 from anywhere, essentially, that someone wants to loan out to him. It's not like a plane that he flies consistently for every show.
He did mention that, so he did make sure to give a lot of credit to his team for getting everything show ready for him.
So huge thank you to him for. He'll probably totally listen to this. Huge thank you to him for taking the time out of his day before flying to chat with us. The other thing I'll note is he did comment about coming to get some cheese curd tacos. And then we talked to the folks over at Deltahawk this afternoon as well about their engines.
Yeah, this was a conversation I had been really excited about. It's one that's basically been a year in the making, but it worked. We got our interview. Dennis remembered me from last year, and really cool interview with Dennis and John from Deltahawk.
Yeah, they were pretty great. They're trying to do some really innovative things in the engine space where we've got all this other innovation in other areas of aviation. The engines, it seems, are still running on some fairly old technology and ideas. So, interesting conversation. We'll have that for you in the future. And then I think that our reward for all this was the cheese curd tacos.
Cheese curd tacos.
And you, again, even though your children are not here, entered your name as Lady Gaga for the staff to read off when your tacos were done.
Yeah, so they remembered me and didn't even ask this time. They just put down Lady Gaga, and this time
Lady
yelled it
Gaga's
out with
back.
pride.
I don't know if that's a good or bad thing to be a regular at the Cheese Curd Taco Truck.
Well, I mean, the fact that you yelled your name out here twice today, does your wife listen to this? This might be a problem for you. She doesn't listen to this.
She'll know how many cheese curd tacos I bought when she sees our bank statement.
That's why you paid cash from the Mama Don't Know Fund.
Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
On the cheese curd tacos? Not
Yeah.
specifically.
Okay.
I maybe want to get Dembro's opinion on cheese curd tacos.
Oh, yeah.
If he's willing to speak.
Hello again.
Hello.
I would say 8 out of 10 would eat again, but due to all the hype from last year, I was a little underwhelmed compared to where they were in my head. It's not the tacos' fault. It's not the cheese curds' fault. That's just probably mostly your fault. And so, delicious raspberry with pickle. Who thought that would work? It did. Yeah, I'd do it again. You guys should not tell everyone they're so amazing, because then they'll be disappointed.
I don't know. I think they are amazing, though.
They are.
Maybe
amazing.
it's just a matter
they were
of...
legitimately the best food I've had at Oshkosh so far, but I was expecting like a mouth explosion, and it was just like really good. It was really good. It was It was. Never mind. Retract all that. Strike that. Reverse it. 10 out of 10. Cheese curd tacos. # Wisconsin. Every other state sucks. Dembro out.
Thank you for that hard-hitting reporting. So tomorrow, as Badger said, he's going to pick up the Badger children from his set. He will be out here with them tomorrow, hanging out. So if you see him, just know that they're in charge. He is not. I'll be doing a couple more interviews solo, just a couple ones we had arranged that we're going to get wrapped up here. So, yeah, other than that, we're going to start to wind down a little bit and enjoy the show and the festivities and get ready to call our quits until next year. Anything else you want to add?
I got nothing. I'm fried.
Yeah. All right. Jeff, you look like you have something important to say.
You should all come out to the AOP tent Saturday, 10 a.m., see opposing bases.
Oh, that's a great plug.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be there.
Excellent. I will be too.
And don't forget about the Badger Pilot meet and greet right
No
after,
one's coming
same
for that.
location.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there'll be a lot of people there.
Yeah.
For opposing bases.
No.
That's going to do it for this special AirVenture Touch and Go Minisode. Information Delta. Until tomorrow.
See ya.
See you.
See ya.
See ya.